So we'll start with one story today from Upanishads. There is one king named Janashruti. Omajnana Timirandasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Sri Gurave. This king Janashruti was very pious. He was performing many sacrifices and many such very nice activities for the welfare of people. And but he was a little proud also. And one day, the sages in the kingdom they wanted to give him proper understanding. He was very religious, pious, religious. One day, he was sleeping on the terrace of his palace, and then two sages they take the form of birds and they fly over him. When they are flying, one of the birds says, "Oh, don't actually fly over this place because King Janashruti is sleeping there. He's such a pious person, you cannot cross over him." So he feels very happy that my glories are even known in the birds' kingdom also. Then one of the birds says, "Arey, no, this Janashruti is doing so many pious activities. He's digging wells, planting trees, giving charity of cows and all. But thing is, he don't have spiritual knowledge, Atma Jnana. So Paravidya is not there. That's why whatever he is doing, all the credits are going to one Raikamuni in his own kingdom because he has Atmagyan. He is doing that means you do whole work, you do the job, and the salary is into somebody else's account." And when the king heard, he could not sleep only whole night. It was so difficult for him to accept this. He said, "I am working hard and somebody else is getting result." Then he called in the morning the ministers and said, "Find out where is this Raikamuni. I wanted to know where is he." They went around, many of them, they could not find. Said, no. He became very upset, king. You have to, at any cost, you have to find him. At last, they found one person was sleeping under a cart. And they asked, "Are you Raikamuni?" He says, "Yes." The king is calling. He said, "I am busy." And then they come and inform the king that this Raikamuni seems to be busy. And he's just lying down under a cart. The king knows he's of very cultured background. He knows that I have to go to a sage. I cannot just call him. He's a sage, saintly person. So he takes some fruits, flowers, and some jewelry as charity, and he goes. He goes to the Raikamani and he keeps in front of him and he started lamenting. He said, "Oh, see, I'm doing so much, but because I don't have Atmagyan, I'm not getting any credit of what I'm doing. Please give me." He was lamenting. As soon as uh, the Raikamani saw this king Janashruti, he said, "Arey, you are a Shudra, get lost from here. I have nothing to do with you." Now he called king as a Shudra. Why king is Shudra? Because he is lamenting. This is the quality of a Shudra. Shudra means who laments. It is not by birth, it is by the activity that is decided, whether is a Brahmana or Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Lamentation is because of ignorance. Ignorance means you don't have proper knowledge. That is the quality of a Shudra. He is not interested in this knowledge. We need to be interested in Atmagyan. Then only we'll come to the platform of Brahmana, then Vaishnava, like that. And then king, he did not say anything. He goes away. Next time he brings his daughter so much wealth and says to Raikamuni, "Please accept it." Zamacharya's comment, this daughter is his heart. And then Janashruti, the Raikamuni accepts it and then he gives him Atmagyan and he elevates it. So the point is, there are so many knowledge, but all this, unless we have this transcendental knowledge, it does not make much difference in life. What happens is we continue to live with our mind and senses, which is not any source of happiness. It gives some temporary pleasure, but ultimately we have to be with our material mind and material senses, life after life. No matter how much externally there is success, the soul is lamenting. People, if they don't have spiritual knowledge, they are destined to. That is the point. Now, when Vyas Maharshi is, of course, he's not lamenting. He's feeling some despondency because he has done everything, but he's feeling, oh, that something is lacking. And here, Nardamuni point out, he is giving a very important. So three things. From eighth onwards, he started explaining that, are you satisfied doing all these things? Then eighth and ninth, he told, we'll just read the translation so that fifth chapter, if first five chapters, if they get into our system, then it becomes very easy, especially fifth and second. We'll just read the translations. This is, you have not actually broadcasted the sublime, spotless glories of personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy transcendental sense of Lord is considered worthless. So you are not glorified. And although great sage, you have broadly described the four principles, beginning with the religious performances and all, but you have not described to such an extent the glories of personality God. In every literature, Vyas Maharshi glorified Supreme Lord. Everywhere there is glories of Supreme Lord. But it is along with all other things. So one of the options is, okay, you have A, B, C, D. Four options are there. One of the options is you can also do bhakti. You did not exclusively. What is Srimad Bhagavatam is not that every shloka is telling about Supreme Lord. Even in Bhagavatam also you have other topics. What is the difference? The main difference is all the topics which are given in Bhagavatam are directly connected to Krishna. That is the difference. But whereas in other Puranas, Mahabharata, there are so many stories which are not connected to Krishna only. Like Prabhupada gives example, Nala Damayanti. We have nothing to do with it because they are not connected, they are not devotees, not connected to Krishna. Like that, Bhagavatam, even though it is telling about universal creations, you have so many other topics, and you have planetary systems, sociology, other seven canto, so many topics are there. All are connected to Krishna. Because just in the 12th chapter, when Parikshit, when Sutta Goswami started telling about how Parikshit Kali was trying to beat bull and cow, Mother Earth, then this is, wait a minute, if it is not connected to Krishna, no, don't tell. So anything connected to Krishna, that is explained in Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is everything connecting to Krishna. That is the difference. And then we see, it says, okay, you are not sufficiently repeatedly glorified. You have told again and again, dharmartha, kama, and you have started sufficiently did it. That's why it says, nayat vajas chitrapadam hares. So that word it does not. See, uh, chitrapadam, they are very decorative. But if it is not glorifying the Supreme Lord, will not make any music, any other things which is not glorifying the Supreme Lord, will not will cannot sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe. And then that is a place of pilgrimage for rose. But whereas Tadvag Visargo Janataga Viplava, this is very important. What is this Viplava? Viplava means developing faith on Krishna and devotional service. That is what happens. What is that Viplava that happens? Revolution in the heart, Prabhupada is writing. Revolution in the heart. What is that revolution? The revolution is we develop faith in Krishna. So we directed towards bringing about revolution in the impious life or world's misdirected civilization. The revolution is developing faith on Krishna. This is such a important thing. And then next shloka. Now he says, Are all this literature which you wrote, all this pilgrimage for ghosts. Are not only that, even which you do Naishkaryam, the Jnana Yoga, the Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga, Takam Karma Yoga, all these things, if they are Achyuta Bhava Varjitam, they are not Achyuta Bhava, if they are not connected to Krishna, why Achyuta? Infallible. Somebody who is connected, they have Achyuta Bhava, they never fall. Achyuta Bhava Varjitam. If it is not connected to Krishna, na Shobhate. It is not. It looks very ugly. Shobhate is looking beautiful. Na Shobhate means it's very ugly. Even karma, jnana, yoga are also ugly if they are not connected to Krishna. We were discussing yesterday also. Anything without mercy of Krishna, it won't work in this material. We cannot do jnana, karma, yoga without mercy of Krishna. It is compulsory. That's why 2.61 also Krishna is telling that Mahapara, they need to be connected to Krishna. Otherwise, all yogas remain fruitless. Now here one another important. Now Vyas Maharshi says, okay, whatever I wrote, you said that it is not perfect. You only write, you will dictate, I write. Chastise me, scolded me na, for whatever I wrote. Now what you do? You dictate, I will write. The Narmala says, no. You are only going to write. And then he gives empowerment, transmission of power is happening from Narada Muni to Vyas Maharshi in this shloka. Is empowering. No, you are going to write. Ato Mahabhaga Bhavana Mogadrik. Four qualities he mentions here. Why you should write. Suchishrava Satyarato Dritavrata Rukramasya Kilabandha Muktaye Samadhinanusmaratad Vicheshtitam. He says, Atah Mahabhaga. Here, Mahabhaga is who is highly fortunate. One, yourself, and two qualities, two internal qualities. Amogadrik and Suchishrava. He says, oh, highly fortunate one, you have four special qualities. One is Amogadrik. This is a very important way to understand. Now we will see what are the four qualities that is mentioned. First is Amogadrik means your knowledge is perfect. This is the perfect knowledge you have. He has knowledge of everything. We'll read the translation. Oh Vyasa, your vision is completely perfect. Your good fame is spotless. So your perfect is knowledge is perfect. Whatever Vyasa Maharshi is perfect. Your fame is also spotless. These are two things of Vyasa. And then he says Satyarata and Dradavrata. These are the two qualities, external qualities that will manifest because of these internal qualities. Two internal quality, external qualities. And this is what is our sadhana also. If you want to take sadhana, it should be Satyavrata. We'll see. You're firm in your vows and situated in truthfulness. This can be the sadhana. Somebody can be truthful and firm in their vows. And thus, you can think of the pastimes of the Lord in trance, the liberation of people in general, from all material bondage. And he says that Pradavata and Rukramasya of the Supreme Lord's activities, Akhila. Akhila means art. Akhila means complete. You can completely benefit the living entities fully. Akhila. You can give the highest benefit for all the living entities. That is what Akila Bandha, and you can free them from all sorts of bondage. To highest prema also can be attained. Vyasmashi has that ability. And Mukte from for liberation and Samadhina. How you can do it? By yourself being in Samadhi trance. Samadhi means where a person is in a pure heart, a state of pure heart. This is important. Now, when we are praying and all, Anusmara, think repeatedly and describe them, which is various pastimes of the Lord. We'll just read the translation and purport, and then I will explain a little more important point about what is Samadhi level. Oh Vyasdev, your vision is completely perfect. Your good fame is spotless. Your firm in verse and situated in truthfulness. And thus, you can think of the pastimes of Lord in trance for the liberation of people in general from all material bondage. People in general have a taste for literatures by instinct. They want to hear and read from the authorities sometime about the unknown, but their taste is exploited by unfortunate literatures which are full of subject matters for satisfaction of the material senses. Such literatures contain different kinds of mundane poems and philosophical speculations, more or less under the influence of Maya, ending in sense gratification. These literatures, although worthless in true sense of terms, are variously decorated to attract the attention of the less intelligent men. Thus, uh, attracted living entities are more and more entangled in the bondage without hope of liberation for thousands and thousands of generations. She, Narada Rishi, being the best among the Vaishnavas, is compassionate towards such unfortunate victims of worthless literatures, and thus he advises Sri Vyasadeva to compose transcendental literatures which can not only attract but can also actually bring liberation from all kinds of bondage. Srila Vyasdev or his representatives are qualified because they are rightly trained to see things in true perspective. Very nice. Huh? They are qualified because they can see things in because they are rightly trained to see things in true perspective. Vyasdev and his representatives are pure in thought due to their spiritual enlightenment, fixed in their vows due to their devotional service, and determined to deliver the fallen souls rotting in material activities. So all these are the qualities of Vyasa Maharshi, which are mentioned by. That's why first canto of Bhagavatam we call it as Adhikara Tattva. Adhikara Tattva is what is the qualification for a person to hear Bhagavatam. This is very important. We know we appreciate Bhagavatam is good, but how can I develop that qualities? That's why all qualities are mentioned so that okay, they are the qualities you want to understand. Bhagavatam is there, you are there. But the connection is we have to develop that qualities to understand that. Is the point. And the fallen souls are very eager to receive novel information every day, and the transcendentalists like Vyasadeva or Narada can supply such eager people in general with unlimited news from the spiritual world. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the material world is only part of the whole creation, and that this earth is only a fragment of the whole material world. There are thousands of literatures there are thousands and thousands of literary men all over the world, and they have created many, many thousands of literary works for the information of the people in general for thousands and thousands of years. Unfortunately, none of them has brought peace and tranquility to it. There is Leo Tolstoy, he's very famous author. He has written many, many poems and many work, and he confesses, actually, I wrote everything, and it's one of the famous work. No. After writing it, everybody appreciated, but he said, somehow I'm not happy. Because why people write is they want to make people happy with their literature. I write so that after reading it, I think he wrote Love and Peace, War and Peace. War and Peace was his. And many people appreciated, but he felt he was not happy by it. He thought, no, it didn't satisfy him because it is not possible. Krishna is not Achyata Bhava. Unfortunately, none of them had brought peace and tranquility on that. This is due to a spiritual vacuum in those literatures. So nicely, our father reads. Therefore, the Vedic literatures, especially the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, are specifically recommended to suffering humanity to bring about the desired effect of liberation from the pranks of material civilization, which is eating the vital part of human energy. What is this vital part? What happens is he is not awakened. That is the vital part which we need to awaken. They cannot awaken to the reality. They just continue to live in ignorance, and they don't want to. They don't want to work in the direction only because they cannot. For them to accept reality becomes difficult. The Bhagavad Gita is spoken message of the Lord Himself, recorded by Vyasdev and Srimad Bhagavatam is a transcendental narration of the activities of the same Lord Krishna, which alone can satisfy the hankering desires of the living beings for eternal peace and liberation from misery. Srimad Bhagavatam, therefore, is meant for all the living beings all over the universe, a total liberation from all kinds of material bondage. Such transcendental narration of the pastimes of the Lord can be described only by liberated souls like Vyasdev and his bona fide representatives who are completely merged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Only to such a devotee do the pastimes of the Lord and their transcendental nature becomes automatically manifested by dint of devotional service. No one else can either know or describe the acts of Lord. So even the so-called people who are taking Bhagavatam and all, they don't understand anything. They just they're licking the honey bottle only. They don't really get anything into it because they are still on a mundane platform. If you are interested in money and fame, name, heart is already contaminated. There's no chance that you can something comes from very deep. If something has to come deep, I will explain this point. You try to understand. This is a very important point. If we want to, yes, Matul.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dhanwad Pranam.
Then.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So Prabhuji, I wanted to ask that initially somebody might start preaching like nowadays devotees and many other also people, they are also actually propagating Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Somebody might start his YouTube channel thinking that okay, I will get many likes, I will have a lot of name and fame. But eventually, is there any hope that that particular person might be purified just by speaking Bhagavatam, and one day he will selflessly preach Srimad Bhagavatam?
Uh, if he knows, there are two things, Mataji. Here, there is Shraddha and Swabhava. I have a Swabhava where I am interested in name and fame, then that is not a problem. But even if Shraddha is also for name and fame, then there is a problem. Like say, I want to go to Krishna, I want to attain pure devotional service, but I have my conditioning of name and fame, and that's why I try to put some my videos in YouTube, and I want to take something so that people will appreciate me. That is my conditioning. That is not what I want to achieve. I want to achieve Krishna. If that some pure Shraddha is there in him, even this conditioning will eventually go. But when his Shraddha is not only pure, that he is not really, I want Krishna, I said, okay, if comes, otherwise I am okay with name and fame, then it won't work. This part should be there for him. And some part of sadhana should be there. Sincerely, he want to do for Krishna's pleasure. Then only he will be able to come out of that Swabhava also. Otherwise, he cannot come. If somebody is just taking about Krishna and speaking, he may get some, he may accumulate some sukruti if he is doing in a right way. Otherwise, he is just, if you go to chant the holy name to get name and fame, you get name and fame only, you will not get Krishna. If he is reciting Bhagavad Gita, good name and fame, he will get name and fame, but he will not understand Bhagavad Gita. It is not going to benefit also much. There are so many Mayavadis. If you go to YouTube, they are speaking on Bhagavad Gita. They don't get any benefit, and people who are hearing, they will also not get benefit. Many people they recite shlokas, Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas also they recite. They are not going to get any shraddha from that. They may get pious credits. They have done some pious activity, they get pious credit, but not the shraddha which is needed to really get out of this metal world. That is not possible.
Then some part of the sadhana means primarily what Prabhupada is saying, that chanting and the morning program, that has to be very intact for him then.
Sadhana in the sense means you have to do it for pleasure of Krishna. That's sadhana.
Ha,
You may be chanting, but you are not doing for pleasure of Krishna. It won't work. You are
ha,
chanting to get name and fame. It won't come like that.
ha. Yes. Roji, when I'm asking for myself also, because even we are preaching. So then are also
For
attitude.
us, Mataji, our Abhilasha is not name and fame. Our
Ha,
Swabhava may be name and fame, but Abhilasha is Krishna only. We
Krishna.
chant,
Yes.
we are chanting not for name and fame. We want Krishna only. And we
Yes.
want to get out of it.
Yes. 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 Yes.
There is a difference.
Yeah, that is why we always keep on hearing the glories of the holy name again and again, so that we actually intensify our, this that yes, now we have to please Krishna. Generally the tendency initially was I want to please my own senses, and I want to do sense gratification. But after coming into Krishna consciousness, a lot of realization is that this now we have to live for the pleasure of Krishna, preach for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. This attitude has developed, but sometimes there is fear that Maya can attack from anywhere. So, if our understanding is proper, then we will be able to overcome the effects of Maya also. That fear is still there. I don't know when that fear will go, but
No, fear should be there. Otherwise, we'll will become complacent.
complacent. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
We know that not that we are able to pray that intensely, but at least our desire is the highest desire is yes, I want Krishna only, and I know I'm interested in name and fame. I know I have lust, I have greed, I have pride, I have envy. I'm envious of sometimes devotees also. I may be angry with them. I may be so many things are there, but I know this is not right. I don't want to increase them. I want to decrease them. Ultimately I want Krishna. So in that way they are all that is why we cannot judge devotees. They're always intentions we don't know. We say okay. Now when we are praying, that is also what happens is there are so many hindrances for us. Even when we are chanting the holy name, why we are not able to pray? Because so much chattering is going on our mind, all these desires, thoughts, so much going on. When we are praying also, our prayer is like out of the thick of such material mind which is having so much chattering. It is like a bubbles of some stinking gas is rising from the bottom of a swamp. Swamp is there, some bubbles are coming of some gas. So that much sometimes it is coming for us, the prayer. Not so from very deep. True prayer can be born only from a stillness born beyond the mind. So this is actually samadhi state. And this state is what here what is needed. Our mind, because it is so much disturbed, we cannot really pray and understand and come to this stage. We need to calm down our mind. Our the definition of people in this world is happiness is basically chanting for anartha nivritti. Question is chanting for anartha nivritti is actually favorable. uh, this is what we have to do chanting for. We have to get rid of anarthas only. That is why we are doing. And yeah, one more question was Satyaraton Dharavata is internal and Amogadik and Suchishrava. It is ulta. Amogadik and Suchishrava is internal and Satyavarta Dridavatar. Satyaraton Dridavatar external. Anyway, four qualities external and internal. Yes, Chandra.
Prabhuji, so how to develop this Dridha Virta quality? Firmness in vows.
Firmness involves,
Means
of
our spiritual
course,
practice is stability, that regular waking up and regular reading. So this is only the Dridha Virta, na, Prabhuji, for us.
yes, yes. We
So
have
how
to
to
work on developing mode of goodness.
okay. So how
Mode
if
of
one is
goodness.
facing challenge in like in regularity, doing things continuously with great enthusiasm. So how to develop that, Prabhuji?
We have to be with people who have that Mataji. That is the best, easiest and fastest way. Another way, if we are hearing from acharyas and reading regularly, that will also come. If we are with devotees, like now every day morning, we have to complete our chanting before 7:15 because our class starts at 7:15. After that, 9:15, you don't have time. So, because we are in this association and we will be forced to continue like this, and every day having class is another blessing for all of us. We will be forced to be with devotees, and we have to know this is what I have to do whole life and nothing else. You tell your mind this is only I have to do, this is only I have to do. Slowly mind starts accepting it and say, okay, nothing else in my life to do other than every day morning chanting and hearing, chanting and hearing. That's all. In one place you are holding strongly, all other place will get set slowly. Just hold one part very strongly, all other things in life are easily going to set. Don't leave morning classes and your whole life other things automatically come into place. Krishna will make sure will help you in overcoming all other things in other places. It becomes easy. And another important thing is when we understand Shastra nicely. Now what we are doing is we are understanding Shastra Yukti. Understanding Shastra with logic. This is what is awakening of our buddhi. We have Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya stage. This is the stage for us to help controlling our mind and senses, where we are convinced on the basis of Shastra. It is not some because everybody is doing, I have to do, everybody is saying, I have to do. There are rules, otherwise, I am part of ISKCON, so I have to follow the rules. This is all institutional bhakti. But when we come to a stage where I'm convinced with the Shastra, I myself am trying to understand the logic of Shastra. Okay, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling this. Bhagavatam, first chapter, second chapter, third chapter. This is the logic. We are convinced. Yes. No other literature will help. Only Bhagavatam will help. When we are awakening like that, then for us, follow the standards and strictly becomes very easy. Because I am awakening. What happens now? We become more conscious about it. I'll give an example. Like for children, if you tell them something to do, they are doing the same mistake again and again. You told them, Arey, itna bar bola, I told you many times, why are you doing the same mistake? Anytime it happened to you, children are doing the same mistake again and again, you told them. It happens. No?
Yeah.
It happens.
Yes, Prabhuji. I just
Why
know this. Yeah.
why it happens, because it did not register it in the conscious level. They heard it, but they did not hear. It did not
Yeah.
register. But when it comes to the conscious level, then they will be able to do. That's why what sometimes if you tell 10 times it don't work, that time they get one beating. When they get beating, what happens is they become conscious. Hey, if I don't do it, I beating. So they become conscious about it, then they start doing it properly. Beating is not to hurt them, make them conscious. Another important thing is like another example was when devotee was sharing. He had he was learning English. He used to make the same mistake. Like no, then when we are speaking now, I told that person, this is how we tell. I told him not to do. Instead of I told, he always used to tell, I tell him not to do. I tell him. So another devotee was getting so much irritated. Why are you telling I tell? It's not I tell, I told. This is how you should use English. He was doing the same mistake and it happened many times. One time his guru came. He is speaking the same way and he told the guru, see how he's speaking his English. He's telling I told instead of I told, he's telling I tell. Then as soon as he told in front of guru, next time onwards he never made the mistake. What happened? He became conscious. This is a mistake. So unless that awakening happens, we continue to do the mistakes. Awakening is what is at the jnana level. The Shastra helps us to awaken our consciousness. We become awakened. Yes, I want it. I need to do it. Then slowly we are stable. This is what is why we need Shastras to help us. Jeev Jago. What is that Jago? The Buddhi need to be Jago. Otherwise, we are every day waking up from sleep. But what is not waking up is Buddhi is not awakened like that. That's why Shastra is so very important. Not only Shastra, not just Bhakti Vaibhav Bhakti Shastri degree. Yesterday in the class on duties, Roji, these degrees are there, but degrees won't work. You need to learn yourself. You need to understand the logic yourself and apply in your life. That is what is make it. That is going to make the difference. Clear?
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
So here I was telling how our mind need to be calm state. That is highest state is samadhi. Anyway, I speak on this many times, but I'll not do it again. We'll just go for the next purport. ततोऽन्यथा किञ्चन यद्विवक्षत पृथग्दिशस्तत्कृतरूपनामभि न कर्हिचित् क्वापि च दुःस्थितार्मतिर्लभेतवाताहतनुर्विश्वास्पदम्. Whatever you desire to describe that is separate in vision from the Lord simply reacts with different forms and names to agitate the mind, as the wind agitates a boat which has no resting place. So about the mind, anyway, I have to tell only because this sloka is connected. I'll speak few words on that before we go further. Today we have good amount of time. Taroji left early. Purport. Srila Vyasadeva is the editor of all descriptions of Vedic literature, and thus he has described transcendental realization in different ways, namely by fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, mystic power, and devotional service. Besides that, in his various Puranas, he has recommended the worship of so many demigods in different forms and names. The result is that people in general are puzzled how to fix their minds in the service of the Lord. They are always disturbed about finding the real path of self-realization. Srila Naradadev is stressing this particular defect in the Vedic literatures compiled by Vyasadeva, and thus he is trying to emphasize describing everything in relation with the Supreme Lord and no one else. In fact, there is nothing existing except the Lord. The Lord is manifested in different expansions. He is the root of the complete tree. He is the stomach of the complete body. Pouring water on the root is right process to water the tree, as much as feeding the stomach, supplying energy to all parts of the body. Therefore, Srila Vyasdev should not have compiled any Puranas other than Bhagavad Purana, because a slight deviation from that may create havoc for self-realization. If a slight deviation can create such a havoc, then what to speak of deliberate expansion of the idea separate from the absolute personality of God? The most defective part of worshipping demigods is that it creates a definite conception of pantheism, ending disastrously in many religious sects, detrimental to the progress of the principles of the Bhagavatam, which alone can give the accurate directions for the self-realization in eternal relation with the personality of God by devotional service in transcendental law. The example of the boat disturbed by whirling wind is suitable in this respect. The diverted mind of the pantheistic can never reach the perfection of self-realization due to the disturbed condition of the section of the object. Selection of the object. Now, this is a very important point. What Narada Muni is trying to tell Vyasa Maharshi is that anything that is described separate in the vision from the Lord simply reacts with different forms and names and agitate the mind. So this is very important. Yamimam pushpitam vacham. This is all pushpitam vacham only. What Narada Muni did. Yamimam pushpitam vacham prabhavanti abhipaschitaha. Vedavadarata partha nanyatastiti vadana. Kamatmana swargapara janmalabhara prada kriya vishesha bhulam bhogeshwara gatim prati. This is that there is nothing. Just do your activity, go to heaven and enjoy. And all these prescriptions are given. So many nice prescriptions are there, to become happy in this material world. You can have a raw food diet, carrot juice, tomato juice, and yoga, pranayama when you are here. And then after that, you go to heaven and then you have another recipes too. There are so many recipes that are there to make us happy in this material world. And Vyas Mahasi has created all these recipes. And what Narthman is saying, Arey, these are only disturbing the mind. What happens is mind gets hooked to all these pleasures. Bhogaishwara prasaktanam taya aparita chetasam. What happens? Chetasa is aparita, it is kidnapped. That is what is happening to all the people, which Narada Muni is trying to explain. Now, what is the definition of pleasure for the people in this world? More you agitate the mind, it is considered the best pleasure. It is not controlling, agitating. They want to have suspense movies, thrillers, action, romance. All these things are agitation only. It is exactly opposite to the real happiness. What happens is there is cerebral cortex and there is also almagadal in the brain part. So when there is raga, bhaya, and dvesha, the emotions are this part of the brain. When a person is in an emotional state, then the cerebral cortex, which is the thinking part of the brain, is suppressed, very heavily suppressed. See, when we say manas, buddhi, ahankar, they are software. This body, brain is a hardware. So they state different parts of this hardware. Software we need and hardware also we need. If you have a computer, you all have some ideas. So we have something called software, we have something else. The body is like the system is hardware system. The spinal cord, brain, and all is a hardware system and the software. Now, when we are in an emotional state, the thinking part is suppressed. A person cannot think, he just acts. Then, like how sometimes it is needed also. Example is given, say some lion is attacking him. Now he cannot sit and think, oh, lion is attacking, what should I do? No, immediately he starts running away without thinking. There is a factor of fear which makes a person act very spontaneously. Now, most of the time, what is happening with people, they want to stay in that emotional state and experience some pleasure, not coming out of it where thinking part. Because if people start thinking, they become very nervous. They feel very depressed because they have to see the reality, and which is not very pleasing also. So, but this is previously it was Vedas, they are agitating the mind, giving the flowery words, Somaras, Apsaras, Nandana gardens, and all. And so many other worships you do, this worship, you get this benefit, good wife, good children, and you have nice power and wealth. Now they are replaced with the fifth Veda, Google, which is also doing the same activity, but it in a more passionate way. People are getting more and more passionate and getting caught. And then there is no way, no way that people can come out of it. They're just running. You just ask them, no, why are you running? They'll spit on their face. What else can be done other than this? When you go for book distribution, then that's what happens. People are running. They want to, even though they are in stress, they want to work because they don't want to stop, calm their mind and think because it is very painful. They feel, what else can we do in life other than this? Don't know. And Narjun is saying, Arey, why are you guided people like this? All this literature, Vedic literature that is not describing, it's all waste. And Prabhupada is telling all the Puranas are waste. Of course, even like we quote many times Vishnu Puran, Padma Puran, there are many important Mahatmya, Mathura is given in Padma Puran, and so many other important things are there. Pastimes of Krishna are there in all Puranas. But there are some things which are not connected to Krishna also. And Prabhupada said even a small deviation which will completely affect. Now, even a slight deviation can create such a havoc. What to speak of deliberate explanations. So Therefore, should not have compiled any Purana other than Bhagavatam, because a slight deviation may create a havoc for self-realization. And people want to be deviated and distracted. They want more and more disturbance. Because there is something called dopamine effect. Why a person feels pleasure when his mind is agitated. And I will not go in so much deep in some other time. So, but this 15th verse is very important verse. Jugupsitam dharma kritenu shasatam shashatam स्वभाव रक्तस्य महावित्यतिक्रम यद्वाक्यतो धर्म इति स्थितो मन्यते तस्य निवारणं जना जुगुप्सितम is very condemned. He says the people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in terms of name of religion. This is verily condemned, Jugupsitam, condemned, and is quite unreasonable, because they are guided under your instructions. They will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibitions. Say, Vyasdev told not to enjoy, I am enjoying. So on your name, आपके नाम पे चिट्ठी फाड़ेंगे. So on your name they will enjoy. So Prabhupada was writing, Vyasdev's compilation of different Vedic literature on the basis of regulated performance of fruitive activities are depicted in the Mahabharata and other literatures is condemned herewith by Sri Narada. The human being, by long material association, life after life, have a natural inclination by practice to endeavor to lord it over material nature. They have no sense of the responsibility of human life. This human form of life is a chance to get out of the clutches of illusory matter. Vedas are meant for going back to Godhead, going back home. They revolve in the cycle of transmigration in a series of life numbering 8,400,000 is an imprisoned life for the condemned conditioned souls. The human form of life is a chance to get out of this imprisoned life, and as such, the only occupation for human beings is to re-establish his relationship with God. Only occupation, only dharma. Savai pumsa, pro dharma. That's nothing else to do. It's all waste of time. Under the circumstances, one should never be encouraged by making a plans for sense gratification in the name of religious functions. Now people all do religion. There are so many functions. People go perform yajnas also at home, Sudarshana yajna, Narsimha yajna. All these yajnas not needed actually for devotees. They just have to do only one yajna, Sankirtana yajna. This is all, it's just a show. Not get any benefit. No need of any yajnas for devotees. For yajna is Hare Krishna mantra yajna only. We need to have complete faith in it, and even housewarming also. If somebody invites devotees, does nice abhishekam for their Gaurnita Radha Krishna deities, feeds and do nice kirtan, have nice katha, and feed all the devotees nice prasadam. That's all. Housewarming is done. So if you have some other family members who don't have faith, then you can do some ritual just as a formality. But otherwise, chant Hare Krishna and that's all. But what happens is so many things are recommended in the Shastras by Vyasadev and people also. So the such deviation of the human energy results in misguided civilization. Srila Vyasadev is authority in Vedic explanations in Mahabharata, etc. And his encouragement in sense enjoyment in some form or another is a great barrier for spiritual advancement, because the people in general will not agree to renounce material activities which hold them in material bondage. Same thing. Say, Arey, Shastra is only telling, no, do all these pujas. Vyasmaharshi is only telling. Now we cannot say, Arey, no need, just chant Hare Krishna and read Bhagavatam, your house is purified. No, Vyasdev wrote. It is there in the Shastras. We cannot tell. At a certain stage of human civilization, when such material activities in the name of religion, as sacrificing animals in the name of yajna, we don't sacrifice, but at least we do sacrifice. Sometimes yajnas are done, are too much rampant. The Lord incarnated himself as Buddha and discarded the authority of the Vedas in order to stop animal sacrifice in the name of religion. This was foreseen by Narada and therefore he condemned such literature. But flesh eaters still continue to perform animal sacrifice before some goddesses, demigods or goddesses in the name of religion, because in some of the Vedic literature such regulated sacrifices are recommended. Now also in a Durga temple, South India, they will cut goat, hen. It is very common. Poor animals, so many animals die for no reason. And they are so recommended to discourage flesh eating, but gradually the process of regulate religious activities is forgotten and the slaughterhouse became prominent. This is because foolish materialistic men do not care to listen to others who are actually in the position to explain the Vedic rituals. Um, yeah, we have a question. Bro, this is what we heard earlier when we came into movement 20 years ago, but between so many are confusing us to do this puja rituals in to revive us. Now my doubt is okay. Your doubts are clarified. Okay, I thought it's a question. No need. That's what was Narada Muni is condemning us. Why are you giving all these things to people? No need only. So in the Vedas, it is distinctly said that the perfection of life is never to attain either by voluminous work or accumulation of wealth or even by increasing the population, but it is so attained only by renunciation. The materialistic men do not care to listen to such instructions. According to them, so-called renounced rod of life is meant for those who are unable to earn their livelihood because of simple corporal defects, or for the persons who have failed to achieve prosperity in family life. The histories like Mahabharata, of course, there are topics on transcendental subject along with mental topics. The Bhagavad Gita is there in the Mahabharata. The whole idea of Mahabharata culminates in the ultimate instructions of Bhagavad Gita, and one should relinquish all other engagements and should engage oneself solely and fully in surrendering unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. But men with materialistic tendencies are more attached to the politics, economics, and philanthropic activities mentioned in Mahabharata than to the principal topics, namely the Bhagavad Gita. This compromising spirit of Vyasadeva is directly condemned by Narada, who advises him to directly proclaim the prime necessity of human life is to realize one's eternal relation with Lord and thus surrender unto him without delay. And the last para. A patient suffering from particular type of malady is almost always inclined to accept eatables which are forbidden for him. The expert physician does not make any compromises with the patient by allowing him to take partly what he should not at all take. In Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that the man attached to fruit work should not be discouraged from such his occupation, or gradually he may be elevated to the position of self-realization. This is sometimes applicable for those who are only dry empirical philosophers without spiritual realization, but those who are in the devotional line should never be so advised. So for devotees, no need. We should have faith on holy name, and we have to sincerely and the holy name with sincerity. Don't commit offenses. Chant attentively. Krishna will take care. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give that only. And, this Saturday, Sunday, will check if it is possible. Then I'll take on Chaitanya Charitamrita. So many nice things are there. We can share and discuss. We have a question. Prabhuji, my question is to have desire and pray to Krishna to purify my heart so that I can love and serve Krishna the way you like. Is that also considered personal motive or pure devotion? That is pure devotion. That is what we have to do. Krishna wants that only, that we pray to him, that we come to him, serve him, get purified. And there is If this is there, then we are doing pure devotion. So this is all our hard work should be in that direction. Otherwise, there are so many other deviations are there, which is happening in the name of dharma and other things. No need of any. Even temple, we are doing festivals. It should not become ritualistic. That is also another problem. Anything we do for a long time now, we become ritualistic, and we think it should be done like this only. I was telling example like one time. Uh, one Guruji, this is told in two different ways. Then one Guruji, he was giving class in Bhagavatam class, and then the cat was disturbing. So he told, okay, keep a basket on it. And then slowly it happened that every time the cat was disturbing, he kept a basket under it. And then after some years, the Guruji passed away. Then another one of his disciple became the next Mahant of that mutt. Now, first thing he did, he said, no, cat should be here and you should put a basket under it. And then after some generations, now they start writing books. Why it is important to put a cat when you are having Bhagavatam class? Why it is so important to have a cat under a basket? It became a philosophy. It became a proper tradition. So, like that, so many things will happen if we are doing in a ritualistic way without understanding the Shastra. And according to time plus circumstances, we need to make some adaptations, some changes, and properly understanding why it is meant for. Otherwise, it will be like this. So, like that, many things will come. Another ritual that happened in ISKCON is festivals. They think it is feast. Actually, that is not there in any scripture. Festival is fasting, and we have to break the fast with some little prasadam. And but what happens is, because many people, new people come for the festivals, they make feast. And in ISKCON, they say train now. The festival means you have to feast. No, festival is for fasting. And we have to feast maybe next day, not that day. We have to take all festivals, especially Vishnu Tattva, is Ekadasi Prasad only. Ekadasi Prasad is not feast, it is fasting. But now the trend is because what happens, anything we do without knowing it, after some time we think, no, it should be done like this only. But why? Nobody knows. Same thing with this Adhika Mas and Chaturmas. So many things come which are not needed. Prabhupada didn't tell many of the things. And anyway, that is all Jugupsitam. Don't cheat. Just chant Hare Krishna and don't get cheated. Don't cheat others. If it is not there in NOD, make proper devotion, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, no need to do it. Just do whatever is given in by our Bhakti Shastras, which is recommended by our acharyas. Okay, we'll end here. Thank you all very much. Anybody has any question, comments? Sure. Please try to following the days in Rahu Kal. Rahu Kal, no Rahu Kal. Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he is born on what do you call? Pearl Harbor Day. At that day, America was attacked by Japan. That is considered the very inauspicious day for America because so much of America's port and everything was destroyed. Next day, America went into Second World War. And Pearl Harbor Day. Maharaj was born on that. And whenever Maharaj used to say that, when are you born? He used to tell his dad, oh, you're born on that day, Pearl Harbor Day. And then Maharaj says that, uh, that this is good or bad. We are only depending on mercy of Guru. If we are doing working on mercy of Guru, that is sufficient for us. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Prana. Prabhu, I was the one who asked you the questions
Yeah,
because we were talking on this topic that following different sacrifice is not required for the devotees. So, how about following these days, Rahu Kala, this is Tuesday, and then this is another day, inauspicious day. You should not start anything in this particular time like that. You know, especially in India, keep people follow all these things. So I just wanted to know whether it's really required, or you can just say pray to Krishna and Guru and start whatever you want to do as your devotional activity.
Prabhupada in America, he opened some temples in a, what do you call, they, before when the person dies, they have one place where they keep the dead bodies and they nicely decorate. People come, they mourn, and then they are taken to the crematorium. So that place is also Prabhupada hired and he made into temples. Now, what is inauspicious, auspicious? For us, if we are doing for Krishna, we will not bother much. Krishna is taking care. We have to pray to Guru sincerely. This is for your pleasure and Krishna's pleasure, and you can go ahead. Only thing is you have to see convenient of people. If somebody has some feelings like that, you need don't hurt them. They say, "Arey, this is not a good day." If I had to deal with my mother, mother says, "Don't do on this day." Just to keep her, I am doing, but not that I have faith on it. I tell it don't applicable. It is not applicable for me. You do for you just chant Hare Krishna, pray to Guru and Krishna, do it. That's all. No need to worry so much. You don't.
Prabhu, I'm sorry I'm taking your time.
Ah,
Many devotees even ask question that in Nectar of Devotion it says you should start your worship with Ganesha. And we know that Prabhupada just did it, just to like please the local lights and brahmanas like that. But when we are, how do they say Rupa Goswami himself is telling, and how you are telling you should not worship. So, can you just throw some light on it, please?
we even if we are worshipping demigods also, that is for we take their blessings to please Krishna and worship to achieve Krishna only. We are not asking demigods to give something. If you are worshipping Shiva on Shivratri, also many devotees they do fasting for blessings of Lord Shiva, so that we'll be able to achieve Krishna. Even if you are asking
Prabhu.
Ganesh, it's not wrong. You can
Yeah,
ask
no,
Ganesh.
Prabhu. But it is not that you have to do and only start your sacrifice,
No, not
whatever.
compulsory.
It is in
That's
mandatory like that, right?
whereas Om Ajnana Timirandasya, our Guru's pranam mantras, all Acharyas pranam mantras is actually mandatory.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, when we do initiation yajna, we don't chant Ganesh mantra and do initiation yajna. We chant Namo Vishnupada and do our initiation
Yeah.
yajnas. We don't do Ganesh puja when initiation.
Yeah. So it's not required, isn't it, Prabhu? Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Ganesh will not get offended if you don't. Chant Narsingadev. Narsingadev is the worshipable deity of Ganesh. So we chant Narsingadev prayers. Any inauspicious, go outside. Anytime you are going out, remember Narsingadev and go finish. Sufficient for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Ganesh
Thanks.
also gets powers. Where did Ganesh get power? He get from Narsingadev. We chant Narsingadev prayer.
Okay.
Yeah. Housewarming is for us. You chant Narsingadev prayers. All the evil spirits in the house have disappeared. Yes, Chandrakant.
Prabhuji, as you're telling, like how we make our devotional service sometimes ritual only, as we do every day. So, Prabhuji, regarding like bhoga offering, also many times in a day we offer bhoga, but sometimes it's like we are not conscious, also just it getting late or we are hungry. So, Prabhuji, and it was like the only conscious thing is that we are offering bhoga, na, because it's like whatever comes, we know until unless Krishna eats, we don't have to eat. So Prabhuji, that consciousness doesn't come that every time we are offering over, it's getting late, so Krishna just eat it. We're not even putting our consciousness in while offering the bhoga. So how to, Prabhuji, like it's getting late and many times we are offering. So how to like do with this,
we
Prabhuji?
can we can work on our whenever we are chanting Mataji. If you work on our chanting, all other places we can start putting our consciousness nicely. We chant. We are especially chanting. If we are doing attentively, other places slowly will come. Of course, It is difficult sometimes. It happens to me also. Everybody it happens. We start doing things mechanically, but slowly, when our chanting improves, when our hearing improves, we may come out of this mechanical. Why we become mechanical? Because we are lazy. To put consciousness, it is an effort. It's an endeavor. Every time you have to be conscious, such an effort. But to do mechanically, no need of effort. You just have to ring the bell, chant some mantras, okay, done. But to put consciousness, really is a hard work. And we get tired sometimes. Oh, so much I cannot do. Let it be. I'll just offer it. But to be conscious, to pray, to do something, really takes time. But slowly it will come. At least we should know that this is not the way. Then maybe we'll try to improve eventually.
Yeah, because sometimes Prabhuji we make specially offering for the Lordship, and while preparing also we are so much conscious. But
Yeah, that's
sometimes
true.
like children is like daughter going to school and have to just take out the offering, and it's like Krishna eats just it's like that, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah, it
So,
happens. But other time you do nicely and keep Krishna
and
happy.
then yeah, like Prabhuji, but the thing comes, Krishna, I'm offering you because we will not eat without you offering. So this only you see, Krishna.
Yeah,
This is
Krishna
only we are having right
understands.
now.
Krishna understands. You say you eat fast now, and other times I will give more time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hari bol.
Anybody has suggestions for Chandrika Mataji, you can give. Yes, Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Regarding this demigod worship and following all. So many times I remember in 2001 when I had some very serious problems in my life. Devotees are telling, what Hanuman Chalisa karo, because I think there was some Shani Dasha or something. They were telling Om Shanai Nama karo, and I was initiated by that time. Then somebody telling, hey, do Hanuman Chalisa. And then oh, this problem is serious. But then I was very much firm that no, I want to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra only. I will not do. And if they'll ask me, then I'll tell, I have done. But then after a long time, I realized that there is one when there is one strong faith and there is one weak faith. So I was thinking that even devotees at that point of time, I mean, I don't want to judge anybody, but those who were even senior than me, they also had weak faith, that they didn't have faith in Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yeah.
And when I had heard that time in the lecture that Krishna is the controller of all the planets and all the planets are under his control. So then I was thinking, if everything is under his control, then I will chant his name only. Why should I chant Hanuman Chalisa or Lord Shiva's mantra, Om Namah Shivaya? Somebody told me Om Namah Shivaya also. So then I didn't chant. And if they ask me, I have done, Then I'll chant. It's
You are fortunate. You have pure faith.
then after many years, when I was asking I was asking His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj, because Maharaj had come at our place, at our home. So then I'm saying that Maharaj, like this. So he's saying that, see, uh, when you become a devotee, you become initiated, then Krishna is in control, and Krishna is taking control of your life. Then if you have weak faith, then you will move away. But if you have strong faith, and Krishna is giving these calamities to purify us, and if you don't understand that Krishna is purifying us, then it is very easy that you will drift away. So
Yeah.
then I was very happy that no, I did not do Om Namah Shivaya or something. But I was respectful, definitely, to Lord Shiva and Lord Ganpati and Lord Shani Maharaj and all also. But I did not drift. I'm not glorifying, but I was saying that even devotees also, because of lack of little knowledge or faith
Yeah.
or firm faith, it becomes very difficult. Now also there are so many devotees. There are so many, what do you say? Senior devotees. They are also again and again saying if some problem comes with some devotee, oh, you do this, but then they will not say that you chant and you take shelter of the Lord. You don't take shelter of any other person, because only one person can save you and nobody else can save you. This firm conviction many people really don't have at the moment. And I was feeling so bad that, oh, means I was feeling bad means Prabhupada has established such a nice philosophy for us. He's given Bhagavad Gita, he's given Bhagavatam. If somebody is in misery, we should tell them, chant more and read Bhagavatam. Chant more and read Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam says, Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Bhagavatam in itself is saying that, please, anybody reading this, Yasya Vaishnavanam, Krishna Param Purushe, Bhakti Rutpadate Pumsa, Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Now, this conviction, is too much lacking in our this. And I was feeling, hey, why is he telling like this? He should tell, read Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita. Because even Arjuna, when he was in distress and when he was sad after Krishna left, again he read Bhagavad, again he remembered Krishna's instruction, and all his distress was gone. So this, I think, we need to establish a lot in our movement. Otherwise, all these komal people who come new to us, they will think, they are telling we can do that. They are telling we can do that, and they will be dangling in two boats: demigod worship boat also and Krishna worship boat also. So I think we all need to put everybody in one boat, Krishna boat, and captain is Chilasutta Goswami. So these are some of my thoughts and what I was feeling, that even astronomy in that matter, Prabhupada also said that astronomy only for matchmaking. Okay, fine, to know under the swabhava of the girl and the boy. But some people every time are running to astronomy. Again and again they are running to astronomy. Some small thing happens, chalo is astrologer ke paas jao. Some small thing happens, let's go to this astrologer. So instead of taking shelter of the astrologer, we have to take shelter of Krishna. We have to take shelter of the holy name. We have to take shelter of all the 9 types of devotional services. So, Prabhuji, these are some of my thoughts. But
thanks, thank you for sharing. It's so nice, Mataji. Our devotees should share it. Thank you, Mat. Sarvamai Mataji, you wanted to share something.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you for your clarification. These were actually, we were getting confused. Actually, many devotees in between, they used to tell the stars are affecting and this and that and all. So now actually I'm getting all my doubts cleared from hearing your classes. So I wanted to thank you personally for that. And also, Prabhuji, that there was a story that Mataji was talking about this offering, I don't remember the name of that. This it comes in the Jagannath story. So she used to cook for Jagannath, get up and then offer him khichdi immediately as soon as she used to cook, because she didn't want him to be hungry. And then people started telling her that not to means you should have a bath and do your rituals and then only you should offer. So when she started doing that, Jagannath used to feel hungry, and then he used to, I think that this story, there is a story, I don't remember completely, maybe you could clarify it properly. So I was just remembering that story, her mood, the way she used to offer, how her consciousness, not that we are supposed to do like that, but just thought about it. So I thought I'll share it. Thank you.
Actually, this is a very relevant, Mataji. Very nice story that is. So what actually is important is we have that bhav is important. Even little bit of with love we offer it to Krishna. Even it is 1 minute also you'll accept it. Of course, we should not keep 1 minute, 10 to 15 minutes we should keep. But the bhava is very important in service, because what happens is that bhava contains the chit shakti. Chit shakti only pleases Krishna, nothing pleases Krishna. Only the chit potency can please Krishna. And when we have the devotion part, that is what Radharani gives us, we will be able to please Krishna. We'll take one last comment Monica Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Krishna Rupa Mataji said that we should match the Kundali before marriage. But what I think is that everything happens in our life is only planned by Krishna. So what makes it different that if Kundali is matching or not? Even if it is not matching, but if Krishna wants us to be in peaceful, be peaceful, then he can change anything. He can change my kundli, or he can change opposite party's kundli. Anything he can do, no?
Like this is not having. It is something simple to understand, Mataji. What happens is, say now, if I am having some, you go to the temple, you have certain devotees who are there. You will choose to associate. You will have that. Okay, these are the devotees who are little bit with your style. Then you will go and try to associate with them. There are so many devotees, but you will choose some devotees whom you feel comfortable to associate. We appreciate everybody, we like everybody, but some people we are very close. Why? Because that will match our nature. With them we can work very comfortably, and we'll be able to do services also very nicely. We can do more. Similarly, just for that few hours association in temple also, we are uh, we are trying to choose and trying to associate. When we are choosing a life partner, if you take somebody who is very favorable and he also has the same type of mentality in terms of serving Krishna, in terms of other faith and other things, what happens is, then there is differences will not be much. Then the time for settlement of differences will also reduce. Others whole day goes in, he'll say we should have sattvic food, somebody say no, we should have pizza and burger. Then whole day goes in settlement only. But if you already have both of them are sattvic, then it will be very comfortable to work. Just to save time, save our energy, and to help our mind to be more focused, concentrated, and feel encouraged with each other, we need to choose a person who is compatible with our nature, so that we'll be able to serve Krishna nicely. So the purpose of this is just to know the attitude and other aspects of the person. That's why we need to go to astrology just to check, okay, how much it is matching. It's not that everything will match. Some things will match, so that it becomes easy. We'll save our time in serving Krishna. Basically that. Otherwise, if somebody is very sattvic and somebody is very rajasic, somebody is tamasic, you keep tamasic with sattvic person, then most of the time goes in settlement only. There will be so much differences in their opinions and ideas and all. And it becomes a little difficult to work with, to continue. That is why we need to go for it. Even though it is Krishna's arrangement, ultimately Krishna arranges how to purify us and all. Krishna is arranging. He has given some signs to help us. Okay, take care of this. Then we will do it in that way. It is very practical. See, basically, if you have two devotees, you have to work in the kitchen of the deities. Two devotees are there. One is one you feel very comfortable to work, one you feel little difficult. They choose, okay, if it's difficult, then I'll not be able to do service properly. I make some sabji, he will say to do like this. Better you work with somebody, you will be able to do more and it is comfortable. So to be practical, these are things are there. It's not that
But
we have so much faith. We have faith on Krishna. Ultimately, Krishna will arrange. Krishna says, okay, this is what you have to get it. We'll accept it. But before that, we do it.
but
Like
for devotees, kundali may not be accurate, right?
no, it is accurate for everyone. Only thing is what going to happen in future is not decided there. What is going to happen in future is decided by Krishna. Other things, what kundali and all these things are same only, because we can just tell by if you give your date of birth and time without seeing you, astrologer can tell how you look, what are your taste, what is so many things astrology can predict about us. That is not because it is a science. What they cannot predict is what is going to come in the future. That Krishna is deciding. But devotees they cannot predict. Krishna decides that. Past they can predict easily. It is
Okay. Thank you.
future they cannot do it. Anything future for devotees is Krishna. Outside peoples, it is possible. For devotees, not.
But if future is decided by Krishna, then how can Kundali say that?
Kundali is
whether
not going
you-
to say. Kundali is not going to say future. Kundali, we need to get somebody who is favorable to us. Say now, I want to stay with somebody. I want to keep somebody in a roommate. So whom will I choose a roommate? I will say, okay, this person will be nice. But my authority comes and says, no, 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 he will be in your room. I say, okay, I'll surrender to authority, understanding it's Krishna's will. If you give me a choice, I'll say, Roji, ye acha hai na, ye na. It will match with me. So I'll choose. Similarly, we make a choice. Ultimately, we depend on Krishna.
Okay, okay, thank you.
You're understanding? Okay, thank you very much. We are running out of time. Thank you. Tomorrow we will meet at 7:15, and also Gaur Purnima, we will try Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 3 days. I'll try, mostly possible. Thank you. Oh, Krishna Mataji, last comment.
Prabhuji, tomorrow we have lots of time. Why not from 7:15 to 9:15 we have a Bhagavatam class? Or maybe 7:15 to 8:15 Bhagavatam, and then 8:15 to 9:15 Chaitanya Charitamrita glorification.
Yes, Mataji, I can take something on Chaitanya Charitamrita also we can take. Yes,
Yeah, we have lots of time. We can utilize 2 hours very nicely.
I don't know how many other attends. I will try to take something on Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll be here.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.